Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. I'll try to make this kind of short, and hopefully it makes sense and my brain will let me complete all of my sentences this morning. Didn't get much sleep last night, but that's okay. Meal prepping. What kind of tips, tricks do I have? Once you go to the grocery store, you have all of your food. My suggestion, or what I normally do, is I grocery shop on one day and I meal prep on the next day. That's just because I get really tired easily. Grocery shopping, where we grocery shop, especially on the weekends, is like a madhouse. And weekends are busy. So usually I take an hour to an hour and a half grocery shopping, and then I'll take about an hour to 2 hours meal prepping everything. For some of our meats and stuff that I want to cook throughout the week, but not necessarily cook before and eat leftovers for. Sometimes I do that, like my ground beef or ground turkey. If we're having tacos, I'll cook that stuff right up after I'm grocery shopping with meal prepping, and just stick it in the fridge because it makes great lunches. It makes great salads. Same with like chicken. I'll grill some of that up or put it in a skillet, or I'll shred it in my crock pot on low for about 4 to 6 hours, and I'll keep that in the fridge just for lunches. So I always do some kind of protein or meat to keep throughout the week for all my lunches, and I make that up pretty much right away at the beginning of the week. We also end up with leftovers throughout the week, which is great towards the end of the week when what I made at the beginning of the week is now gone. As far as meals go, my husband and I really like bulk buying our meats, especially when it's on sale. So we will go and we will buy like $150, $200 just worth of meat about every month to 2 months. And we stick it in our deep freezer that we have. What I do with that is before it goes in the deep freezer, I plan out what we want our meals to be. So if we want chicken curry, I put all the seasoning in with that chicken. I, put the water that I'm going to need, the chicken broth that I'm going to need, the seasoning packets, everything, the onions all get chopped up, goes in a gallon-sized freezer bag, gets stuck into my freezer. When I pull that out, I defrost it and throw it in my crock pot. Simple. Like, that's all I have to do. And that's usually enough meals for like, oh my goodness, I think the last time I did that, I actually had to take half the crock pot and refreeze the cooked chicken curry because we had so much of it, and we were eating it like every meal for a week. So you can always refreeze meals after you've cooked them, but only do that once. And leftovers are good for about a week. So remember that, so you're not eating bad food either. But that's a little trick I have. If I end up with too much food, I just freeze it and we have something already completely cooked. Just has to be defrosted and reheated for another meal, which is super easy. Sorry, I have a dog here that definitely wants some attention this morning. The other thing that I do, so we do a lot of those kinds of meals. I guess I do that with my chicken curry. I do that with some of my soups. I do that. We do like a really awesome pizza soup. I'll drop that recipe somewhere in here because it's my husband's favorite. So it's definitely husband and kid approved. It's amazing, super tasty, really hearty, fills you up, which is awesome. We do that with our pork carnitas that I have. Tons of meals that I just, I put everything into that freezer bag that needs to be in that recipe, and I just freeze it because it makes my life easier during the week. I'm not sitting there chopping up onions and peppers and all this extra stuff. I'm just taking a bag out, letting it defrost for a few hours or overnight the night before, and sticking it in a crock pot or a skillet or the oven, however I want to cook it that day. So that's one of my tips. The other tip is once you make all this food, make your life easier during the week. So, get some Tupperware containers that you like that are airtight. And after you cook a meal, pre-portion it when you're putting it away. Like, you're putting it away already. Ow, stop that. No. Sorry, she's hurting me now because she really wants to be petted. If you're already putting it away in one giant Tupperware container. You're already doing most of the work. So get out a bunch of smaller containers. You know, if you're using the portion control containers, that's great. If you know your portions, that's great. If you're doing To Be Mindset, fantastic. But use those tools that you have and pre-portion out all your meals. It really won't take up that much more space in your fridge because you're already going to use this huge container anyway that's going to take up a ton of space. So use the smaller containers, pre-portion it, and then when you're going to grab lunches, you don't have to go, oh, now I have to measure out all my food again, you know, at 7 a.m. in the morning, and I have to do this. Nope, you just grab that container, stick it in your lunchbox, and you go. So we do that. I mean, I work from home now, so it's a little bit different for me, but I still do that just because it's less for me to think about during the week. And we do it because then my husband can just grab his lunches and go, and he doesn't have to worry about it either in the morning. So it really helps us out throughout the week and setting us up for success, versus us going, oh, I don't have time to do this morning. I'll just grab something on the go. Well, no, we take the time when we're cleaning up dinner to do it so that we don't have to worry about it later, which is really, really awesome. I'm trying to think other meal prepping tips. If you're looking for awesome recipes, go on to BOD, go on to the Fixate cooking channel and look at some of those. They're fantastic. They taste so good. I'm visiting Wisconsin for this next week, and my family and I, there's a chicken caprese, like basil pesto something or other that's in the Fixate cookbook, and they love it, and it's so delicious when you grill the chicken. And we're actually going to do a steak tonight. So we're going to do steak, the basil pesto, which is homemade with basil and avocados. Oh my god, it's to die for. And then you do a little mozzarella cheese and some tomato, and we usually have like a little salad with it, and it's perfect. So there are some really, really great, absolutely delicious recipes in there that are going to help you eat all your food groups that you need and still have something that tastes amazing. So go check that out. And actually, let me get my iPad. I can kind of show you where it is on Beachbody On Demand quickly. I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes for you guys because I know long videos are kind of a drag sometimes to watch. The other thing I suggest is going onto the Team Beachbody website and Beachbody On Demand online if you have your computer, and going to their nutrition blog. So what you can do, I think from Team Beachbody, I've used like the search bar and just like put in like recipes or something, and it always pops up with the right site, but it's actually Beachbody On Demand, I believe. And then they have a whole section that's like a blog, and they're typed recipes if you don't want to watch that Fixate channel. Also completely amazing. So let me get to my home screen, because of course this was still in my workout screen. Managed to get that done this morning at least. Oh, my other dog finally stopped whining. Someone else must be up in the house. So let me see if I can flip this screen around somehow for you guys. Not working. Okay. I don't know how to use my phone apparently. So anyway, I'm going to show you like this, and hopefully this doesn't make anyone sick or dizzy. So when you have Beachbody On Demand, if you go to your member library, and because this is on my tablet, it probably looks a little different, but there's the Fixate Cooking Show. If you click on that, you are going to see tons and tons of recipes that are all fantastic. They're separated too, which is great. So there's something that's new this week. There's breakfast recipes. There are tons and tons of breakfast recipes. Entrees. What else is in here? I haven't looked at this for a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Tons of entrees, tons of sides and snacks. So they really have everything in here that are great recipes that you guys can use and utilize them. I mean, they're fantastic. Look at our meal plan. But those are some of the tips that really get me through my week and my meal planning. I cut everything up. I put it into my portioned out containers, and I use lots and lots of Tupperware to do that. And it makes the rest of the week a whole lot easier, which is always fantastic. All right. I hope you guys have a great day and weekend.